Nice.
I wear a
That's
flag
very-
tie
that's
around
very
4th of
nice.
July.
Yeah, that's good description.
Okay, you're good.
It is Wednesday, July 1st, 10:02 a.m. County Court is in session for the for the agenda following the work session. We have the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I move to approve the minutes of the June 17th, 2020 Harney County Court meeting. I second that.
Moved and seconded to approve the June 17th minutes as written. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Item C is opportunity for public comment. We will check the phone lines. We could have one.
Welcome to AT&T's teleconference service. Please enter your access code, followed by the pound sign. To join the conference as the host, press star. Otherwise, press pound. Please enter your host password, followed by the pound sign. There are 2 participants on the call, including you. You are joining your conference as the host. For a menu of available commands, press star pound.
Good morning, this is the Harney County Court, and it's about 10:04 a.m. and we are open for public comment. Do we have somebody on the line?
Yes, Greg Clark, owner of the Best Western and the Roaring Ryan Inn.
Hi, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first name.
My name's Troy.
Troy and Clark?
Yeah.
Hi, Troy. You can go right ahead. There's just the 3 of us in the room, 2 commissioners, myself, and the recorder, and that's all we got in here right now.
Okay, so I just called in to comment on this increase for lodging tax.
Yes.
And one thing I wanted to start with is, I think the notification has been horrific on the county's part to get people prepared, and then I think, it's kind of been an unjust to the hoteliers in the community. But with that being said, this community has currently, I think, at least 2, possibly 3 hotels for sale in it. The state of Oregon just lowered their state tax. Rates are down by probably $20. Sales are way down, and this increase is significant. I mean, if we were talking about, percent or so, you're talking about a 6% increase. That's significant in a community where your lodging industry is already hurt. And, what I would ask the county is, what has the county done to protect us hoteliers in the community to justify such a rate increase? What has the county done to bring in new businesses, to bring tourism, to justify this rate increase?
Well, it's almost why we're doing it. We don't have the funds to maintain like our fairgrounds as a venue for year-round attractions to bring people to our community, because we don't have a stable funding source. So that's actually, it's kind of reverse of what you're asking. That's one reason we're trying to implement this, so we can find that source to find a way to attract people out here on a consistent basis.
So the solution to help us is to add taxes to the industry that's already struggling. I mean, how do you guys are you guys even doing what's going on in the lodging industry in the community?
Well, at the meeting, your folks filled us in, to that degree, yes.
And so the best solution you guys come up with is to add 6%, which is probably one of the highest, I think, in Oregon, And I want to know, how did you guys come up with that number? What are you guys comparing that to?
Well, as the county goes, there has been no tax out in the county. Ever.
Yeah.
And so, well, we're in Lake County, we understand it's 7%. Just counties around us, we're just kind of going by an average.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think we just give call spade a spade. You guys are looking, you know, to compensate some bad management of money by going after the hotel. And the hotels are struggling in the community, and I really feel it's a horrible forecast. And I think it's gonna have negative effects. You guys see it as a way to get free money, but I think you're gonna have a huge negative effect, and it's gonna trickle down. And I think you're not seeing the big picture.
And you do understand that just, our action is just to put it on the ballot. It's not automatic just because we're doing this.
No, I understand that. And the thing is, like, yeah, you're gonna put it on the ballot, and people are gonna say, I get that, but, you know, they're not fully informed. And the other thing is, you know, I think you guys need to get some justification on the percent, and also, you know, what are you doing to justify such a increase in lodging tax? I mean, what have you guys done, you know, for this money? And the thing is, like, you're not helping this industry. You're not. And you're gonna hurt it. And you're looking at us as a way to fix your problem, and you're gonna hurt us in the process.
No,
And that doesn't sit well, especially having two hotels out here.
so we're not looking at you, we're looking at the citizens that come to this county that cause our search and rescue to go out, because they don't understand the county, you know, that's another piece of it that we're trying to get some support behind, because one helicopter rescue wipes out our budget. And that has happened, and it's not unusual. And more people are coming out this way they don't understand our country, or our country, but our county and the terrain and how far we are from here to there. We've got to find ways to, you know, to support, to take care of that type of issue. And we go out of town, we pay anywhere from 12 to 15%. When we go out of town to motels, that's on business or personal, doesn't matter. I mean, we travel.
And then where are you paying that 10%?
Salem's the last one I double checked.
Yeah, well, even what Salem does for the community, it's huge. There's constantly buildings going up, there's business coming in. And the thing you got here is people aren't coming in here. I mean, you can look at their lodging taxes from last year, tell me how many people are coming in. You know, but it trickles down every single year. So your solution is to add a higher cost, and that's not gonna work. So you're gonna raise those rates on people who already are skipping it and moving on down the road. And that's the point you guys are missing. So you think you're getting more people by raising that cost on them, when you're seeing a constant downcline. I mean, why do we have hoteliers have their hotels up and down? You think it's because of driving?
It could be a variety of reasons. I don't know the particular reasons.
Yeah. Well, you should, you know, go out and talk to them, you know, so.
We called every hotelier. We had 4 different ones show up for our meeting.
Well, I want to point out that you guys did not call every hotelier at first. We had to find out through the back door, and we contacted you that. You guys tried to sneak this in on us, and we are the ones that contacted you and got it out front. So,
I'll back up to that point. Yes, in the spring, that is correct. But this time, we contacted by phone, every hotelier to come to that meeting.
yeah, that's correct, after the first
Yes.
time, so.
And I wouldn't say we're trying to sneak it in. It's going to be on the ballot.
Yeah, well, you work with the community or you don't. So, you know, you guys can say it any way you want, but you're either gonna work with the community and you're gonna be honest up front or you're not. And the thing is, it shouldn't have went the way it did. And anyway, that's my comment. So you guys know how I stand on it. So I will stop there, but I wanted to make sure that I got my comments on.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you calling in, Troy.
All right.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Any other phone comments? Nobody else in the room for public comment. We'll leave the phone line open for another 10, 15 minutes. So, moving on to old business, item D on the agenda. No old business. Item E, new business, is our second reading of the transient lodging tax ordinance. This is what Mr. Cox was referring to.
Oh, there was no changes made. I did not bring mine last time.
I don't keep them, I have the originals here. Okay, so-
Just a comment based on the public comment. I do think that it would be good for us to think through the pros and cons, you know, the way they are in a voter pamphlet, for instance, and make sure that they're accurate. And who submits the pros and cons to voter initiatives that go on the voter pamphlet? Do you know, Pam? That would be good. We want to make sure we're, I mean, you felt like you were being dishonest. I do not feel like we were being dishonest in any way. Can communication be even better? Yes. And so I would like us, this to roll out with very good communication, on the amounts and the, you know, whatever. So, but other than that, I do hear what he said, but, what I believe is behind this from our standpoint is the need to help Harney County be sustainable. This is a tool, this is a very accepted tool all across the state. We're one of the counties that has not implemented one ever, but many counties have implemented transient lodging taxes. And while I'm sure anything like a tax affects any kind of business, at times this is one that mostly affects the consumer, and it's an accepted practice that we are used to paying. And I hope that the fears of the hoteliers are not true and not fully as they fear. I think right now we've got COVID, so of course they're in the toilet right now on the hotels. This is not just about whatever taxes are out there. This is the unfortunate impact that they're experiencing due to the stay home, stay safe environment that we're in, and the additional cost to doing business right now. But I'll be happy to help once we know more how that gets done. And
We can reach out, we can find out the answer to your question, how do you get your comments, and then reach out to them and tell them they
just
like
so
to
there's
submit
a-
their comments in the voter, I don't,
just so they're accurate
the voters
also.
pamphlet.
They have to be accurate in everybody's got.
Yeah, we need to educate ourselves on that part of the process, so that we're aware, and that we can share that
And just reach
information.
out to them and say, hey, it's in the voters pamphlet, you like, put a comment in the voters pamphlet, this is your opportunity.
And
That's what you do.
I feel as the, you know, more or less the fiscal responsibility of the budget is on that is part of our job to do. We're doing it for Harney County. We're doing it to help sustain some of the things so that our economy will be okay. I mean, I understand his perspective is from his standpoint, but
Well, what have we done? We just filled every hotel during the construction of those solar farms for, I think we are making our attempts to bring, yeah, that's not permanent, but that definitely was a shot in the arm for us right now. You couldn't find a hotel room or a trailer spot or anything in this county for about 4 or 5 months.
And I think that what we're also looking at with being able to bring the fairgrounds to a more of a destination for people, that we can hold more events there. With events, you're gonna have people needing to stay, and I think that that's part of our conversation that we're even having with the, you know, project where we're trying to designate 50 commercial acres. Anytime that we can go through the county and try to designate places where we can make them destinations with this within the county, it's going to help our hotels and motels be able to be more sustainable, but this isn't something that has been maybe addressed well enough in the past. I think as a county court, we need to make sure that we keep it very much in our forefront, that we need to look at ways to have destinations here that bring people. You don't need to necessarily stay permanently, but to bring them here for temporary reasons, you know, and keep that at the forefront. Our chamber needs to be maybe stepping up their game in working with the hotels too, and making sure that accommodations are, you know, known, and that during events that they're encouraged to stay. And so it's probably just a whole communication. Some of that can go through the CRT once we start meeting again in September, and make sure that we're addressing it properly through that avenue also.
Yes. You know, the fact that our signature tourist event, the Bird Festival, you know, did not happen this year,
It's very
you know,
tough.
obviously just compounds the overall scenario. So
Well, and even
they're
like-
hurting.
We locally put on an event that normally we have a very huge amount of people come to. And normally a 4-day event, people stay in the motels. You know, we're only able to have a 2-day event, so only a few people stayed in motels this last weekend. You know, and so the climate right now is creating a lot of disruption in everybody's ability to put on events. But the events that are still happening are still bringing people in, and there are some good events going on, and we need to make sure that we maintain any that we can during even this disruption. And we continue to have some traffic and some people staying and some people participating in the economy here locally.
I wonder if, any outreach to any other of the hotels who may want to be considered for congregant isolation facilities if COVID, becomes resurgent, and we ever did have a situation where we had to lodge people who couldn't isolate themselves. We already have contract, you know, but I mean, these others need to know that that's a service that they can offer to be competitive with if it, I don't know. And I feel for their industry. Their industry's hurting. It's not just because of Harney County, our proposal for a TLT tax, you know, it's bigger than that.
It was interesting, he did say if it was one or two, it was one thing, but had his folks in there and asked him that question. No increase, was their response. Yeah, because we could have done it 6 in the county and 1 or 2 in town, but that was kind of like shot down. When they made their comments, like, okay, they're just opposed to any increase, so.
Well, it's my impression that when people come to Harney County or through Harney County and may be in a situation to spend the night in a hotel, it's because Harney County is on the way that they're traveling, all things considered, or there's something in Harney County that they want to come for. And I don't see that really changing.
6% on, I'm sure that the other day, 6% on a $120 room would be $8.
We never seen them in Belfort.
Well,
And I think
I
the other thing
appreciate
that's
him
not-
calling in.
Yeah,
You
and the other
know,
thing that's not to mention is all the government travel that comes here, and they stay in, probably
$7
those,
and 20 cents. And
probably stay in those 2 hotels. We don't have a choice.
well, it's been something that the county never likes to do, implement, you know, a tax on anything, and that may be the reason why it wasn't years ago, and as we are getting more in tune to our fiscal health for now and into the future, this is one of the few revenue generating things that's available to us as a tool that primarily will be paid for by people out of town. And it would not make sense. I believe we're doing the responsible thing by getting it to the ballot. Let the people decide. You know,
And someone would direct you from our budget board too.
I mean, we would love to have more revenue from other sources as well, but at least this is one tool we can try to see if the people know.
Motion on O2. I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2020-02 in the matter of an ordinance implementing the transient lodging tax, TLD, within Harney County, providing administrative procedures for collection, refunds, and enforcement, establishing penalties, and providing for an allocation of funds directed to tourism, promotion, and county services.
So this is the
By
second
title
reading.
only. Second reading by title.
I second the second reading by title only, is that what we do?
Yep.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 2020-02 in the matter of an ordinance implementing the transient lodging tax, TLT, within Harney County, providing administrative procedures for collection, refunds, and enforcement, establishing penalties, and providing for an allocation of funds dedicated to tourism, promotion, and county services. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, second reading of transient lodging tax ordinance imposing number 2020-03.
Second, the second reading of transit lodging tax ordinance imposing 2020-03 by title only.
Did you make the motion or you seconded
I
it?
was second, I thought Pete.
No.
Oh,
Oh.
I don't have that
Oh,
in my packet.
sorry.
So that's why I thought you were gonna do it.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I move to approve the second reading by title only, ordinance number 2020-03 in the matter of an ordinance imposing a transient lodging tax, TLT, within Harney County, creating a promotion and tourism fund, providing for collection and enforcement, and establishing penalties and referring it to the people.
I second that.
Okay. Been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 2020-03 by title only, second reading. In the matter of an ordinance imposing a transient lodging tax, TLD, within Harney County, creating a promotion and tourism fund, providing for collection and enforcement, and establishing penalties and referring to people. Further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So I passed it to you last week. Item 3 is the court order that puts it on the ballot. I understand it. You guys have this.
Yes, this is
All right.
Do these come down here into the table?
yes,
Is Daddy here today?
he's in court right now testifying in that case.
I see a tackle on this.
Oh, the year by?
No, in A, second line, 202, it says 2020.
Oh, it's missing
And then the next line down, I think, ordinance 22002 should be 2020.
2020-02.
Okay. And also hereby should be spelled the other way that hereby is spelled. H-E-R-E-B-Y. I've always thought
Where are you
hereby-
at?
Like down here, isn't hereby spelled H-E-R-E-B-Y?
Yeah.
And then, in C, the court found the referral.
Yeah. And
Found,
the court referred.
Court found the referral of
found,
in
Majority
2020.
court. The referrals. Referrals, just one, or the best interest is, yeah, this one needs to be retyped. But there's a time as of the essence thing, isn't there?
it. Carrie have this.
I think Tank has this one. We can check with Carrie for sure.
She had the file.
Yeah.
Did she, if she printed it, she might have a copy.
I'll check with her and see what she's got.
Back page is good, you only have to sign.
Do you have everything, Mark, that you want to change?
I know this one.
Compare it to me and I might just catch something.
I apologize, I have to walk through all that.
Referrals.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Ten 10:30, I will hang the phone up for public comment. I don't believe anybody's there. I'd like to stay on and listen to our discussion.
So like in this circumstance where he needs to attest to this, if he needs Carrie in the future as his person to help him, if he was absent, she could then fill that position, even in situations like this.
She has it, so she can fix it.
And a phone call. A couple days ago, somebody went by. Woodman.
By what?
Woodman. Forest Service offices are closed. The LM still closed. Everybody understand it.
They have to do it online?
Man, can't. So if you call the number, I called the number in the book and I got Diana, who works out here, but she's working from home. And she said a lot of people are calling and just hanging up because if she can't handle it, she's on the other line and they're not leaving messages, getting frustrated. So they would just call back and hang on, you know, I'll get it to them and we can do it over the phone and they can mail it.
Well, they should change their voicemail to say that. Unless they just hang up so quick.
Yeah.
No answer, okay.
Maybe I get back to work. Somehow. Find a way to make it work.
Maybe if you had one person staffing things like that, where the services needed to be provided.
If you're one or two people in your office, there's your customer service, and you can direct the people at home, hey, I got this going on. So I couldn't find the call, I was looking for an email, and I got Prairie City number. That guy knew that we, he's after, they're in Prairie City, right? I think he was, because he was talking to somebody, because he was asking for a grade. This guy turned out you work with, he's a judge or something.
Like, well, actually, I'm asking for a friend.
He's trying to help out one of your folks down
Do you know, Brenda Smith is planning to come right at 11?
here. I bet she shows up, knowing Brenda, she'll show up early.
I could text her too. Yeah, we're like,
I don't remember what that is.
She left them on there.
Hey, that one wasn't yours,
Hey. I probably should still review it, right, with that,
Yeah,
the
probably.
key there.
Well,
But you look, you're good at that. Eric. See, that's what wants about the guy.
That's fine. This would be the one that we
We need to have to make some corrections to that also.
Yeah. As long as I, you can get it down there. It was just this guideline.
So this is the corrected one.
Okay.
Um, So my understanding is that this is a court order that is part of the process to have a notice of measure election, is to move this forward to be put on the ballot.
Right, notice of election to refer our ordinance number
Okay.
to the voters at the general election.
And that is the correct ordinance number.
Why is it only mentioned O2 up here, but down here we mentioned O2 and O3?
Thank you.
Should have been
Eric.
both in the top. I didn't know you fellow, B. Like Mark.
No, don't think it worked.
Did you just holler at me?
Eric.
Oh, gee. Just a sec, I'll go.
So 2022, 2202 is the one that implements.
We mentioned both of them here and in here. But up here, we only mentioned one.
because that's the imposition of it. This just talks about on the 17th when you had the hearing.
So
So one's imposing, one's, so the one,
just need to do the info.
You left, do you want me to call
they're
him?
both.
No. July 15th was the day we talked about having the folks in about the roads, those 4 roads. I was gonna make sure that date worked for him, but I forgot to follow up after our last meeting.
I'll just call him real quick
Okay.
and ask him.
So down here,
Oh, and actually it says the court adopted ordinances 2020-02 and 03. Aren't those resolutions?
no, there was,
Are they ordinances?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
the 02 implements,
And so that's something
which
that
is
we
the
need up
difference of
here in the
imposing, I
top,
think.
in the title of.
We'll clarify that. And then on C it talks about it.
I'll just
That's
figure
what I
out
thought.
it's both needed mentioned in the title.
No, it's just 02.
Just O2.
Yeah, okay, 'cause the other one is imposing.
So,
trying to get her to come back in.
Curious. I'll try talking that week or that.
And he's not back, so.
Yes, sir. Well, again, it's a break. We can fix it.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion in the matter of adoption of a notice of election to refer ordinance 2020-02 to the voters at the general election of November 2020. An ordinance implementing the transient lodging tax TLT within Harney County, providing administrative procedures for collection, refunds, and enforcement, establishing penalties, and providing for an allocation of the funds dedicated to tourism promotion and county services
By court.
by court order.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve court order in the matter of adoption of the notice of election to report ordinance number 2020-02 to the voters at the general election of November 2020. An ordinance implementing the transit lodging tax TLT within Harney County, providing administrative procedures for collection, refunds, and enforcement, establishing penalties, and providing for an allocation of the funds dedicated to tourism promotion and county services. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
What was your question?
Eric's on the line, is it on the Meadowlands, or what is
No,
it pertaining?
those
They-
Four driveways or
For vacation.
vacation, those four, those four
Vacation in those 4 driveways.
county road driveways.
County,
You started it.
something you brought too.
Silver Creek,
Silver Creek,
Dover Spikes,
that works? It works for him. It works for you guys on the 15th?
We just need to notify the people that it involves.
Okay, and then we just need to notify the people when.
Mountain Land.
Look at Tron. The first one.
He'll send a list of who they are, and then we'll send a note out to them so that we have it, that they were contacted.
Okay.
The next one is with Tron. Was there,
Kristen, have you had time to look into whatever the weird date was last time, that was like 24 or something?
no, I was hoping to catch the water master and see if she would have had information on that, but, I haven't been able to, but I still have it on my desk here.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Brenda said she's just leaving now, so she should be here too.
So on correspondence, this is a different kind of a letter, just because it's a courtesy letter, and it's just saying that, or maybe you can help me understand that when persons, are considered to be persons named in the decision from which the appeal is taken, it has something to do with that, for privacy reasons. We're saying,
So that's this, did you get this attached?
yeah, I did, and they need to update their list. See, Tucker Billman's no longer in that capacity, neither is Cliff Pence,
Yeah.
so they might want to update their list a little bit.
So if anybody that has said they want to be notified, that's beyond me. I think that must refer to name of the decision that you asked them.
And so the page behind that, each has a list of the people, that information page. So just attached because that's how the correspondence went out.
Yeah. May 11th.
We're just getting it?
That's what's stamped on the front.
That might be something you want to just mention that.
You know? Okay. County court here.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of questions. Terry had indicated that you guys want to have a kind of a public discussion.
Just a work session and bring those four in and,
Okay,
And
so
this-
is it, but unless I remember, or I'm not remembering correctly, three, right? Silver Creek, Island Ranch Road, and, Smith Lane.
and I thought there was Dover Spikes.
That's Smith Lane.
That's Smith Lane. Okay, I thought there was four. Maybe I'm,
Okay, so there's three, and then I'll give her the contacts. But again, I don't really know, I'll talk with Terry, but as far as having, we're not starting the
No.
procedure.
No.
We're gonna basically have a public discussion on,
just tell them what we're thinking and why we're thinking that and how do they feel about it.
Say we want to have a conversation about it.
okay, perfect. No, I'll let Terry know, and she'll get a hold of those people.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
we thought there was a fourth though, so maybe we're wrong.
Oh, I'm trying to think, I thought there was only three.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So, I know there's all, but I'll find it on my desk when I clean my desk. Now the budget's all done, I'll be cleaning my desk.
It'll be a little easier to accomplish.
Don't jinx it.
I'm sure there's four maps in there.
I think I took the maps over in my office.
Okay.
I'll go down and look.
I think there was
I
four.
think there's four.
Unless there's two pictures on one.
Check out your office. I visited you.
Yeah, I did a bunch of filing the other day. I need to find out on each documents.
Almost court meetings scheduled. Sounds like making the hotel people mad, but I just can't see it.
Well, I see it from their perspective, but from the county's perspective, this tax should have been implemented years ago because all the tourism that has came through here has not generated anything for the county. And yet we are to provide the services for that tourism with our roads, with our search and rescue, with, multiple things. And you've got to find a way to make sure that those that are using the services are also paying for the services.
But I still can't get past the part. Whenever I've gone to rent a hotel, I've never asked them. I've asked what the rate is, but I've never asked them what's your tax. That's the first. And they're all, I looked up all the best westerns around us. John Day, Lakeview, all the rates are at the same, around 120. And then they say they have to lower their rates to make them work, and I just, it's a pass-through, why do you have to do that? Everybody else is gonna be paid the same.
Nobody else is gonna change
That
the
was
rates.
an initial discussion I had with, Ramona Thompson with Diamond. She said, now we're gonna have to raise, lower our rates so that the overall amount that the people pay doesn't go up. I said, that's your choice. But I said, most people don't do that. It does increase the client's, amount a little bit. That's,
Grocery store, a gas station, worry about raising their prices?
Obviously not, because the prices keep going up.
That was always frustrating me with fare prices. If I had to raise prices, I had to get new menus printed, I had to figure them quarterly, online. Because I had menus at the hotels. So you try to make it all happen at the same time. Well, gas station, you just go out and change the numbers, the day they're being low of fuel costs, well, they can go compensate for it right away. Can't do that in a few business. It's tough.
That takes time to.
So I finally quit putting my prices on hotel menus for one, because that was the hardest one to get back to. In the store, I could just, my menus would run down, okay. Order my next set of prices. You can't react as quick, I couldn't react as quickly as I could see gas stations, choices on the street.
Are you guys going to be on the, isn't there a Zoom meeting today?
The economic recovery at 2:30 or?
No, is there
Hello.
something?
Oh, that's the Mercury.
Mercury,
I have a different call, so I might just check in with you later to find out if there was
I'll
anything.
be honest, I'm supposed to introduce them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe you can tell me the highlights later.
Hello,
Hi.
how are you?
If you stay there, I can leave my mask off. Closer.
I will stay here. Yes.
We're pretty much through our agenda, so
Yeah.
we're yours.
Hopefully you haven't been waiting. Not trying to rush you. No, it's all good. I was actually trying to come earlier, but you know how it goes.
That's like that. You're so early.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Well, thank you guys for taking time. As you probably read in the email, that Watershed Council is updating their strategic action plan. As part of a web funding, we do need to have a strategic action plan. But in light of what's happening with Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board and their funding model off of the lottery funds, I think it's even more important to have a strategic action plan. We may need to be finding funds in other places, and because we are supporting the water planning effort, we do have funds from a number of different organizations. So we have contracted with Adrienne Graham, and she has helped the Watershed Council do some board development in the last year. So she's been real helpful, and part of the process that she uses is to have each of the board members go out and do some interviews with stakeholders. And so that's why I'm here.
You got
And Kristen was at our meeting 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, Kristen, and I knew I couldn't just call you all three in to have, an interview, and trying to probably set it up with each of you individually, so Kristen suggested this option, and it seemed like a good idea. So I will sort of, unless you have any other ideas, I'll just kind of go through the questions and furiously write, and all your answers will be coalesced. I'm not going to probably be attributing any names to anything that says. Okay, so our first question is, on a scale of 1 to 4, 4 being highest, how familiar are you with our organization, its mission, and its purpose? Another way to look at it is, how would you describe Watershed Council to someone that maybe didn't know about Watershed Council?
I'm pretty low, even though I have in the past, when I first became commissioner, looked at what I could on the internet about it, and I did and then there have been board appointments that have happened and things like that, so, but I always had to think, okay, so do they just mainly apply funding to projects and things, in the county, or do they actually, can they do more than that? How do they interact with NRCS? These were just things that in my mind, I wasn't clear on.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as how, I'm familiar because of my job, not really because as a community member I'm not familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
it would take
Or
my
even as a
initiative, it would take my
landowner.
initiative to have to figure out, oh, when are their meetings, oh, I might go to their meeting or something. And I have, you know, I don't know if that happens much or not.
Right.
If that's wanted, but.
Okay.
And I'd say 3, probably, and for me too, it's in court.
Mhm.
Just a matter of-
Basically through updates,
Mhm.
yearly updates to the county.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
Because of
me-
the
me
community-based
being
water
the-
planning.
The
I
town
think-
mouse and Kristen being the country mouse.
That's it, right?
What a lie.
You're a country mouse too.
Mongrel.
You're on that end.
You're on the other side of the triangle.
Yeah,
I'd say something around 3 also. You know, the major focus I knew was local water projects, you know, which is indicative of the name, but also what I've heard the group actually accomplishing throughout the county.
right. Okay, great. So, which, if any, of our recent projects are you familiar with? And I'll offer you our projects. We do community-based water planning. We do the range camps, although we did not do them this year. We have a small grants program that's administered with Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board funding. We are partnered with the Harney Basin Wetlands Initiative. That's primarily, I mean, unless you have heard something differently, but that's,
Familiar with all of them because we get the newsletter right up. Karen presents, very involved in community-based water planning. So,
okay.
Raise camps. Camps are kind of my thing.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
other two, like
And-
Patty says.
And you're probably like, what in the world am I gonna do in July?
I know, sure, we're, don't want
Yeah, yeah.
to run the house.
I'm sure your wife can come up with a list.
Then we have to paint the trim, and that's not gonna be fun.
So the community-based water planning, I'm less familiar with the range camps. The small grants program, is that more like the improvements to the dams and that, or is that totally different?
That's
Part
a,
of the process?
those are landowner, projects. It could be a solar water trough, it could be, fencing, you know, a riparian area, it could be,
So I don't know, I know the ranch has participated through programs, but I didn't know if it was through yours. I know Marty was usually our point of contact.
Yeah.
And so it was maybe through a different office,
So-
so you were maybe attached to it somehow.
that's exactly right, Kristen. So Soil and Water and Watershed Council, like, coalesce together for small grants programs. So it could have gone through.
Because, you know, we fenced a lot of riparians,
Mhm.
and
And
I'm
that
sure you were
is-
attached to that somehow.
Yeah, so those small grants could either run through Soil and Water or Watershed Council. And when they meet to decide on those programs, they do that together. So, yeah,
Yeah,
We're attached to that.
I knew that you were probably
Yeah.
attached to it somehow, but our point of contact, like I said, was through
it was,
Marty.
yeah. Okay, so the third one is, do you have any recommendations about how Watershed Council can better meet any current needs or future needs in the community?
I have a question
Yeah.
first, if you can
Yeah.
kind of simply tell me the main differences in how the Harney County Watershed Council, their mission as compared to the Soil and Water Conservation District.
So soil and water conservation districts are semi-governmental organizations. Board members are elected through the ballot process. And they are also supported financially by Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board, but I believe they have some funding. I haven't ever been involved with
Right.
soil and water, but they are more closely connected with Natural Resource Conservation Service. So there is
Okay.
some sort of partnership there.
Okay.
Watershed councils were formed by Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board when that agency was formed. And so they are sort of the main, I guess, groups that are supported by OWEB. The idea, and there is a lot of overlap, like Kristen said, the small grants program, you can get one through SWCE or through
HCWC.
thank you.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah. So,
Well, let me ask a little blunt question. Which of those groups, or do both of those groups, what was their role in being aware of our water situation as it was developing over the last 15 years, whether around groundwater or elsewhere? Do they have a role in that? Are they advisory to us in any way? I'm looking for a leadership perspective, if either are or not. Well, what is their?
So I would say, I'm not going to speak for soil and water, but for Watershed Council, I think they're a unique organization in the county because they are the one that has education in their mission. So there is an educational component, and I think that is one of the main roles. And I think that's when the board realized that there was water issues, that we took it on more as a educational aspect of it's morphed, I think, but yeah. So I don't think we're to Watershed Council, right? So anything that could enhance the watershed. So it could be water, it could be invasive weeds, it could be, land restoration, riparian areas. Conservation, I would say, could be conservation districts, maybe would be a little more related to landowner projects. So projects in ranching or cropping, that type of thing.
So when you say partnering with Harney Basin Wetlands Initiative projects, is that kind of what you're referring to? Because a lot of those initiative projects are with, dam improvements or other sort of improvements to keep the wetlands viable.
Yeah.
And is there a basic, is it a state document or a county document or a Watershed Council thing that guides their work toward having a healthy watershed? I mean, what is the target to which they're all working rather than just piecemeal? This would be a good idea.
Yeah, so there is not
Okay.
an overarching, in my knowledge, there's not an overarching.
You have the Watershed Council, you have the Water Department, you have
Like to me,
multiple players.
that's, and it might be more responsibility than some people want, but that's a real good role. We could use somebody to be doing
So,
well.
interestingly, there is a state water plan, and this water planning effort that we're doing is supposed to feed into that state water plan.
Are you referring to the 100-year water plan that she came out with, or is that kind of separate from that will maybe eventually feed in?
So this is Water Resource Department, they have a state water plan. And part of that water plan is for, this is where the pilot projects came in. So let's, create some sort of program to see if we can have communities develop integrated water plans that can feed into our larger state plan. Yeah.
We're gonna start asking the question, how much,
No, it's good, actually. This is what Adrian said we should have. It's more of a conversation as opposed to questions.
communication connection is there to Oregon Water Resources Department with watershed?
I would say we are sort of a direct conduit right now with Water Resources Department because of the funding that we receive for the planning project. I think what's always confounded this effort is the groundwater study is separate from the water planning.
The groundwater study was theirs,
Exactly.
and this
Yes.
is like a community.
Yeah, so, but the community-based water planning effort was theirs too, but it was this pilot project. So the legislature said, let's put some money towards this planning effort. 4 communities in the state received that funding, and off we went. And I think we took it most literally, in terms of, we really want an integrated plan, we just don't want a list of projects that we could do. We need to gather all this stuff up together. And Water Resources is like, whoa, we didn't expect this, you know, we just wanted a list of projects and, you know, give you your $100,000. And, but it's a really important issue, and, you know, it really has to have community input. So in my mind right now, the water planning effort and the work that we've done around that has offered us the opportunity to be able to help Water Resources communicate what's the results and the potential impacts of the groundwater study. So I think we can be sort of a conduit for them around that, as opposed to, you know, on separate rails. Here's the groundwater study stuff, here's the water planning stuff. We kind of have to come together on that.
Does the Harney County Comprehensive Plan or land use type plan, is that something that you'll also factor in, or would you ever have conversations maybe with our planning director, or do you need to? I don't know. I'm just saying.
So there has been some discussion around the land use plan.
There was, and we were actually gonna bring him in for part of it, and then COVID hit. And then I don't know if we touched on those topics, because I haven't missed a few meetings. But we were
I don't
going to
think
have
we
him
haven't.
brought into the conversation.
I feel like, and I'm,
And that's something that we need to check back with Charlie on.
we probably should. I feel like it seems like there is an obvious connection, but as I remember when we really looked into it, it's not.
Well,
So-
it's one of those, what we're kind of feeding into is, as we look at this technical advisory committee, where we're working on Senate Bill 2, and we're looking at 50 commercial acres throughout the county that we could possibly designate. But when, you know, the conversation goes on, water becomes a huge part of the
Right.
conversation.
Right.
And so, like, as far as our land use planning, water matters significantly, because you're gonna have a commercial operation of any scale. If it's either good in quality and quantity, how do you then designate that land if it doesn't have those 2 factors available?
Yeah. No, I do think we need to revisit and see where we are on that. I don't think.
And, you know, and that kind of feeds into one of your other questions of what can we, you know, look at in the
Gotcha.
future, you know, maybe not eat the elephant all at once,
Right.
try to find ways that, you know, as these other conversations come up, that we're making sure to keep water use and availability in mind, because they're a huge part of,
Yeah.
you know, if through even the groundwater study that there's any sort of mapping that becomes available to the county. And I've sent an email to Harney regarding this, that our people here in the county could use that data to create maps, so that we can know if there's areas that we should totally avoid due to quality or quantity, or areas that, you know, would be suitable
Right.
for these commercial uses.
Gotcha. Yeah, it feels like there's maybe more than needs to be. And particularly around strategies, right?
Yeah, because, I mean, we're trying to build some of these strategies of making these lands available, but it will come to nothing if we didn't factor in the water side of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
From an organizational standpoint, I've always found that the best councils or boards, when people are appointed or elected or become board members, know that they get a really clear orientation, decile, they're given some of the reference documents, it's explained to them well, they know what their mission is. If their mission is, we have a piece of planning around this, and then we make funding decisions based on, this role we have. I mean, if people know from the start, oh, I'm on this board and the main things we do are this, and I've got some reference material I can read, and I was elected or appointed just either at large or to represent a certain perspective, and, then they feel more comfortable. And at least I've always felt more comfortable on board when I had that right from the start, so I didn't get off track or just kind of wondering sometimes we do, decide who gets this little grant or that little grant. And on this water planning, I just love for us as Harney County to have our own plan. It doesn't have to be lengthy, with our priorities before the state gets involved.
Yes.
Before, let's look at Harney County. I know we're all connected beyond our border, but still, we need to have that piece. It doesn't have to be, like I say, expensive to make that happen. If somebody can write and you can get enough conversations and talk with people and then have some meetings where there can be some agreement or it's a foundational piece in it. Again, I'm not talking sophisticated, I'm just talking about something that,
Well, it's interesting too, Patty, the water plan, when Water Resources decided to move forward with this pilot project and this funding, I don't think they were really considering what happens once the plan is completed.
I know, and that's what's always on my mind, it's like.
Yeah, no, that totally was the point. I mean, and you can't get, and it's not, I don't think it's Harmony's fault. She's not getting guidance from higher up, but she is
No,
contradicting
but she's
herself.
concerned that we're spending time in areas that will not feed into their end project. And
But we're
that we don't
interested
want
in our
to,
project.
that we don't want to,
Yeah.
they don't want us to feel like we're wasting time in this area when these are still things that need flushed out for our own personal plan, that they might not feed back into the rack. And so I think that there needs to be a conversation.
So, so there's a RAC piece, but then there's a Water Commission piece. So Water Resources Commission is the one that ultimately
Makes that.
so there's a rules making, but the plan, to actually approve that plan that we're working on, they're the ones that have to approve it. Nobody really understands what that means.
Because it is also new
Yes,
to try.
yes, yes. And then they started realizing that other agencies may want to approve this plan too. So, like DEQ and Fish and Wildlife or Department of ODF&W, and so,
That's why it'd be nice to have one that's just our own plan. Harney County plan, and then when you're getting into stuff that has to, I don't know, once you get all the different agencies in, then often they have undue weight to the local concerns. And our local perspectives get lost sometimes, and while they may not have to approve any plan that we say stuff that they don't want to agree with, I think it's still important for us to have something that is truly ours and that we know reflects our view and our vision of how it rolls or should roll.
You find that, I think back to the sage grouse and the CCAAs where the
right,
folks didn't want to work directly with the state, but they were willing to go through
right,
a third party. You find
right.
farmers, ranchers are more willing to work with this office versus directly with Oregon Water Resources. They feel more comfortable Like, a lot of them don't want the government on there.
well, and I mean, that's kind of where we've been coming from the get-go on this, but I think what's been particularly challenging is, how do you partner with a regulatory agency? Because ultimately, they can regulate, right? But what we're trying to say is like, if you want to go down this path of an integrated plan, then you have to accept this plan, and not pull the regulator card because you don't necessarily like something that is playing out in this integrated plan. So it is, so they have to learn to partner as much as everyone else has to learn to partner. I don't know. Can we get there? Maybe.
How many board members do you guys have? Is it 9 or something?
Watershed Council actually has quite a few board members.
Remember Karen going through that?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, and it's based upon sub-watersheds as well as interests, as well as advisory, county court agencies.
Yeah, 'cause we're not a board member, we're.
Yeah. Which, speaking of the, I don't think we have had sort of a sit-down with you in terms of, here's Watershed Council. We have been, as a result of our board development work we've done in the last year, we've been really making a concerted effort around that, so,
It's helpful.
yeah.
We get there.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah. Let's see, I think we've kind of talked about some of these things. Anything that,
I think with number 5, just acknowledging that the economic piece is gonna be huge in, maintaining your funding in the future, that is always a concern due to the current setbacks with the economy.
yeah. Yeah, it was to begin with, and now it's even
Now it's
more
ramped up,
elevated.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess we do at our level where we can advocate further funding.
Yeah, if we
Should
see
always have
things
in the back of our
available.
mind.
Do you know the history of the Watershed Council to the extent that have we been in the same kind of mode of the 3 or 4 things you listed that you're known for that are in that newsletter? Have those been the staples for a long time? Is that kind of a formula you must follow, or is it time for just, let's think it all?
I think it's time for a little bigger box thinking. Yeah. And I've always thought that the education piece is sort of underrepresented because, you think about groups that are doing similar type work, soil and water, even the research station, High Desert Partnership. Nobody has education in their mission, so. Even the tribe, I know the tribe does a lot of educational outreach, but I think that could be, I'd like to see us focus on. I do think that the water planning is sort of eating the lunch. So it's gonna be sort of a big piece for a while.
Well, and something I've wondered is, because the court is a convener through that, and initially, we had Mark come on
Yes.
board. But I wonder if we should also maybe put one of us now on board with that also, just because I feel like
Or would we need
you
to
would be
replace
surprised
Mark? I
that
think
how
Kristen's
little we
right.
get to talk to Mark and interact with Mark, and so, like, the
Yeah.
court's kind of being removed from it accidentally,
Right.
not
Right.
purposely, but we thought it'd be sufficient, but it really isn't, because he is
really good
so
point.
busy and things are moving so quickly,
It'll be busier too.
and he won't be any less busy.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, it
you'll
made
get
sense
busier
at the
in this
time,
job.
Yeah.
but the
We're gonna
abrupt time.
become just dust.
But Commissioner Shulman's very connected now, and I I try to do when I can, but, it would be great just to have the county co-convener now, maybe we rethink.
Okay.
Even if Mark wants to stay on as convener, you know, if there's more than
I
two
have not,
conveners.
I have not spoken to him about this, this is just something that's.
No, just as we were kind of thinking through all this. It would be helpful.
I think Mark will continue to be helpful in his new role. And so I think the more we can have you guys, I'm all for that, yeah. Yeah. Okay,
How about from your perspective to us? Is there been a disconnect or everything good?
no, I think we're good. I appreciate Kristen jumping in there. I think it, you know, with the education part, I don't know that, you know, county court is maybe as heavily involved, but the water thing is, it's really important that, you know, you guys are aware and involved in that, so, yeah, it's a big deal.
Well, I think it would be great if you could develop, I mean, a 5-minute, you know, where, you know, for any of you who are new at the Harney County Watershed Council, when we look at our
Yeah.
watershed, we've got these, we have this, blah, 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 areas, here's a really
Yeah.
good map on it, that's just kind of the real basics of, and our main issues, problems, or challenges, or over the last 100 years, it's changed this way. I mean, just a 5-minute, that when people want it, or it's appropriate,
Yeah.
or even if you go speak at the school, to a high school class or something. Not that they're gonna remember it all, but they're gonna know some of the names.
Yeah.
Yeah, but reaching out to the ag classes that are,
Yeah.
you know, currently going on and trying to educate through some of our
Yeah,
ag-based.
I agree, yeah. And it's really been a capacity thing, but I'm so glad you said that because at 1 o'clock, we're having a call with a person that's gonna try to help us with some outreach, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, once I get something like that on any topic, then I'm just better.
Right.
Then on out,
Right.
on all my work, cause I
Right.
got that and it was just
Well,
the
and you
basic
can-
knowledge you ought to have, and it's not.
And then when you go to other places, you have that.
You can have some talking points.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome, we got it, so. Anything else?
No, thank you for all you do. You do a lot.
Thank you guys, thank you for all you do. Yeah, it's interesting times to be doing this kind of work, for sure.
Yeah.
All righty, thanks so much. Okay, thank you. See ya.
Be on the phone at 3:30. Biz Harney today too.
That's right.
So, I've got that one on my schedule. I'll be there.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
Yep,
See ya.
see ya.
Is Courtney involved in that? Is there? Courtney Crown, okay. She has a 2:30 with the economic recovery one.
No,
Some of the design people are usually on that.
mostly I did a partnership that Jennifer Trayton or some different
I haven't
names.
gotten any emails in a long time, so I'm not recommending.
The main topic each time was this seed.
Oh, I see.
The seed.
Could
Oh,
you just
just
hire
seniors.
an individual?
Yeah, I can't think of the name, but
Oh, the native seeds.
yeah. Native
stuff,
seeds,
so.
yeah. That seems to be the main topic every year, is kind of progressing.
You can let us know how it
Yep.
works.
Okay, anything else?
How about scheduling? You guys have anything starting to come back up for you?
Mm,
It's quiet.
July figured out.
Some meetings I thought maybe I'll travel to the last minute. Nope, we're zooming.
Right.
Zoom.
Did the Eastern Oregon Economic Summit get canceled? I assume it was gonna be
Haven't heard anything
in
officially, but I haven't heard anything
July,
about it,
so
so
I
I guess
imagine
it
it's
is,
probably is, right?
especially due to Tillamook County.
Take that off. Yeah,
The fair board's meeting Monday at 6, NRAD's meeting Tuesday at 6. And then the 15th, county courtroom, 3 p.m. for our work session for the vacancy. And then the TAC meets on the 23rd.
I need to do some work on, I need to because I want to do some work on socioeconomic impacts that relate to the Blues Intergovernmental Council and that assessment. So if you have anything you want to bend my ear about, you just want to call, I'll take notes and I'll make sure that gets in because I just feel like we need to get that right.
Well, there's a lack of direction on that within the plan of how it really affects the economies.
Right.
Yeah.
And they never got that. They were gonna try to have college students do some type of economic analysis on that, but they're gonna get funding.
Well, I
They
think
couldn't get it to the
whether
state, and then East Oregon
they,
wanted so much, it was a huge amount.
Paul Andrus is the one that's kind of facilitating that, and I know you've been very busy in this county on the other stuff, but I think what I'm talking about is what aspects do we need to make sure get addressed or researched? Because I don't think anyone's done it well for Forest Service plans, either ever or in a long time, so maybe we have an opportunity to try to get that better. I don't have the answers, but I'm happy to put it together. Are you guys going to be zooming in on the NACO annual business meeting on the 20th of July? It's at 11. I have a dental appointment that's going to run into that hour, so I might catch all of it.
That phone thing that Jolene set us up for, now Bob.
I don't know.
We're all, it's the three of us and her.
Oh, yeah,
the new director.
Board of Health.
Did we get a date on that?
Just got it. It's the 16th.
What time?
She asked me yesterday, I don't know.
I just wrote it down.
Yeah, I didn't remember the date or time. I thought she started with those details on it.
I'm gonna try to help at the fairground, the COVID testing, because I didn't have anything that day, so.
Is it in the morning? When is she doing it?
It's in the morning. She needs someone to do admin, so I'll do admin. So I will know more after I do that. But I'm happy to help for a few hours.
Is she needing any additional help?
I don't know. Are you available if she does?
And if it's earlier in the day, yeah.
She said for me to show up at 8:30 and they open at 9 and we should be done by 1:30. I think it stops at 1, but if I'm the admin person, then it might be a little bit. What is that?
16th, 1 o'clock. That's one of the 3.
And it's a Zoom or?
Yep.
Okay.
Here, she's coming over here,
Okay.
the new health director, the 3 of us.
Okay. Well, I sure hope they can get stuff squared away so the schools can plan.
I know bad comment to make it too birthday too.
I mean, well, I went to the work session last night in District 3 and basically Pace acknowledged that they probably weren't ever covering us for any communicable diseases. They just now officially stated it. And so, is this virus really considered a communicable disease? No,
Is
that's
the flu,
is that, well, that's what I'm, you know,
Flu's not polio.
is SARS, was
and
SARS?
so
Was.
are we lumping it under something that, you know, needs that kind of liability designation? Or are we assuming it does, but it technically doesn't?
That's a good question.
I mean, I thought that, but I'm still looking for an answer. But they are planning on, trying to still pursue their bond, they're gonna look at some more, details to their plan before they present it again, but
Did they bring up anything about their school plan, back to school plan through public health, that's to be approved by public health?
no, they, that wasn't on the agenda for that work session.
So I've heard some say they're talking on it, they're working on it, but
They are working on
They
it, I
were
know
on
that
it.
they have had,
Just so
group
they,
meetings in town, they've sent out surveys.
just so they designate someone to write the darn thing.
but
Otherwise, they have meetings and nobody wants to write it.
I know Crane, Eric, and
Yeah.
Matt said they would have theirs in July the 25th. So she has time to read. I don't think she'll really do any changes, I mean, you always gotta look
No,
over,
but
make sure
needs to
certain
have an
things.
eye on it.
Right, so I'm gonna send an email to Steve Cook and just let him know that. But he wasn't on that call week before last,
Oh, he wasn't, okay.
you know, the ESD was, Craig was. They're all moving forward, planning.
Yeah, they just need to communicate to her when they're timelines.
Haven't been in touch with the hospital lately.
It feels like we're all communicating really well and then it all.
No news is good. How's things at the hospital, Tammy?
I think it's going okay. I think they were gonna take down the tent, because they didn't feel it was really super helpful. Because anybody that's working in the ER, they'd also have to man the tent. And if the clinic was bringing over people, sending over people for everything, you're reviewing them in the tent, and then it's not, it was just, I think they can figure out other ways to do it, so. But,
So, since you want no big send-offs or nothing, but.
nope,
thank
I'm
you
just
for-
gonna,
For everything, and
Thank Tammy
I'm just gonna-
Johnson for her
yes,
years of
officially.
service.
Thank
notice
you.
her,
County.
Officially notice yourself in
I
the record.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Good luck to you.
She was given a round of standing ovation. No. I can make it really
You make
big.
it sound as good as you
Balloons,
want.
confetti, it was crazy.
We would, but then we'd have to pick it all up.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a custodian.
That's true.
There you go.
That is true. Well, thank you. Well, I might see you guys, because I'll be at Benton County, so if you're in Corvallis, say hey.
All right.
I will not have to go to county court. I will not have to do probates. I am so excited. I love you guys, but sometimes I feel like a director. Wrap it up, come on.
Well, just remember, the last few years have been pretty good about being done by noon.
You have done a great job.
Move right.
Steve was horrible. I will go on record to say it. Those were long meetings, always after lunch.
I think
Almost.
the thing that helped though was us starting early and doing the bills
I-
before the meetings are.
I totally think so too. I think that was a great,
Biggest keys.
Well, that's a great use of.
Great choice.
Is to take care of that part of the process.
Yeah.
So the
And it
meeting
allows
isn't
us to
consumed.
And-
Kind
Oh,
of
so
tell each
everything-
other something that
I
we
wish we'd have
were,
people here talking like,
need to tell.
you're trying
Yeah.
to have checks because you're looking at the clock. You're trying to
Yeah.
listen to that person. You're trying to listen to that.
yeah.
Oh, I hated that.
No, it's
Yeah.
much better use of time.
And then you can have more time to get, you could still get done at noon, but still have more time to bring people in or, have those kind of conversations. I always felt like it just went on forever.
And they were worse.
Dale was worse, right?
That's what I
They
heard.
would be like all day.
All day.
County court was all day.
And there was nothing predictive. Yes.
Painful.
Yeah.
Glad it's not that way.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you, good luck.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're racking up the phone.
I'm gonna take this.
Zoom, Mercury.
Oh, let me turn this on.